It made it much more interesting, the idea of creating a brand new character and a whole entirely different story. You know, I'm not one for. I don't think I'd be good at at television that continued year after year after year playing the same character. I tend to lose interest quickly in things. So this made it much more interesting, the idea of something brand new, you know, starting over again. You know, the better the actors, the better the work. And we've got a great, I think, a really amazing group of actors. I mean, we did last year, and this year I think it's even more kind of exciting.
Dr. Thredson, yeah, he comes at things from like the opposite end of the spectrum from Sister Jude, who's Jessica's character, who runs the asylum. So they're at odds a lot, which is cool in the beginning, and then, you know, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, all of it, the whole thing, it's crazy. It's really, really creepy. There are parts of that set that, like, I would never walk into if I was by myself on that soundstage, and, like, you know, it's like an entire structure within another structure, if you think about it, because there's really no windows in the set. It's very oppressive and institutional, and, you know, those colors, you know, it's really creepy and uncomfortable, and, you know, it takes some getting used to, for sure. I play my banjo on set a lot because it sort of livens up the mood. And at first I was a little bit nervous about doing that, and then people were like, "Thank you for doing that. It makes it so much easier to work." So it can be a little bit intense. I don't feel like I was as integrally involved in last season because I only did 4 episodes. So they had B-roll crews. I'm sure there's going to be outtakes and, you know, deleted scenes and all that stuff, I imagine, right? I hope so. I have to get that in Blu-ray and check it out.
From watching what we have done, it's wonderfully conceived. The concept, I think, is brilliant. The fact that it's American horror story. The American part is really important because it's a view of a certain period in America that I happen to have lived in, which I remember as being pretty horrible.
It's a kind of anthology. I think obviously it changes each year, and this season is, I think, a meditation on madness, sanity, insanity. Those who are locked up maybe more sane than those who are doing the locking up. And season 1 seemed to be a meditation on marriage, infidelity, the disintegration of a marriage, and then all the creepy characters within this extraordinary dark house. So I think in the wonderful world of Murphy and Brad Fulchek, you could say that nothing is quite what it seems. So it's difficult to say. I think most of the characters, they have an altruistic agenda, but they get undone by their demons.
I just think people who loved it last year are going to love it even more this year because the story is much more epic in scope, and I really get the feeling that I do get the feeling that it's going to be something that people can relate to, because some of the terrifying things that are happening could actually happen to you. Whereas I don't know how many people believe in ghosts and things, and so that kind of terror you're able to separate yourself from. But the things that happen on the show that are terrifying could happen, so it's scary. I have every confidence that it's going to be great. Scary and emotional and psychologically thrilling, as opposed to jump out of your seat scary, even though it's going to be that too, but it's a different thing this year.
I start out, you know, she's just very innocent and really wants the best for everyone, which in this world is a tall order because things are pretty crazy. I think, you know, the people who stop me on the street to talk about the show, they say they love it because they've never seen anything like it, and I think that's really that all belongs to Ryan Murphy.
Why are fans going to love the DVD? Why should they buy this?
Oh, well, I just think if you haven't seen it, it's so much fun. I'm a person I love to watch a show, you know, over a weekend. I love to get a flu and watch a show.
Kit's a guy who lives in Western Massachusetts and is married to an African-American woman in 1964, so he kind of has to deal with that. And yeah, he gets wrongly accused for certain crimes. No, it's much creepier, much darker.
I play Wendy, who's a school teacher who's in a relationship with Sarah Paulson's character. It's so different from last season, yet the quality is even higher, and like the performances are even more heightened and amazing. And I think there's a lot going on, but it all ties in perfectly. For me, like being able to work with her was such a dream come true, and I think, you know, because I was such a big fan of last season, and seeing, you know, walking onto set to see her doing this completely new character for the first time, I had no idea what to expect. And the second she started, I couldn't take my eyes off her. Sometimes we were shooting the scene, and I would forget that I had to speak next. To be able to watch the first season again and be able to watch it all the way through like that, and with all the bonuses and extras, and to just get a little more insight into that, just because, you know, any behind the scenes stuff you'll definitely get a lot out of if you're a fan of the show.
Well, it's set in a different place, of course. I mean, it's called Asylum, so that sort of gives you a hint where it is. But I mean, we are all sort of sworn to secrecy. I just think it's amazing that they thought of this idea of having a totally different storyline. It's so radical. It's really cool. I don't know, but it'll be really cool. I haven't watched a lot of the episodes. I was too scared to watch them, so maybe I'll watch it now that it's going to be out on DVD.
Jessica, to your left. To your left. Straight ahead. Jessica. To your right, Jessica.
Jessica. Jessica, right here.
One look right here. One to your right.
All right. Guys, straight down the middle. There we go.
Gentlemen, just together to your left, right here.
And right to the end, please. Thank you.
Jessica.
And where did you guys shoot this?
Here. No, looking up. And Brittany, straight down the middle there, look. Thank you. Brittany, there we go. Yeah, and Ms. Michelle.
Just to your left.
Leah looking in.
Leah, face to the right. To your right.
Naya, just straight in front of you, please. Naya, the beautiful smile. Chris, right there. Chris, hello. Next one.
Right in front.
There we go. Down middle, Chris. Hold that
Chris
there.
on your right. Chris, right in front. Right in front.